Hey y'all, Shay here. Sorry I'm so zoomed in. Some folks like to see the whip-in chats. They want to see the diamond painting and they want to see us actually working on it. So I've got you zoomed in pretty good. For those of you that don't watch, just listen. So that won't make a difference. Hopefully my voice is just where it normally is. I do use my phone to film. So welcome to this week's whip-in chat, y'all. It is Thursday. What's the date? October 13th. And I will try to get this video out today. I try to have my whip-in chats go out on Thursdays. Normally I try to film them the day before, but you know, it doesn't always happen that way. So it is approximately 1:26 p.m. So it is the afternoon. This is one of those videos where I just needed to press record and just go. I've been overthinking it. There's a lot of stuff going on personally that I've had going on, and I just didn't know how to say it or what to say, how much to say, all the things. So let's talk about what I'm using first, and then we'll get to chatting. So let me ask you, first of all, how are you guys? How is everybody that's listening? Thank you so much for being here. And I'm just diamond painting away. I took no time, y'all. I haven't diamond painted much in the last few days. So this is very, very therapeutic. It feels great to be diamond painting again. So that's why I just sat down and just jumped right in. But let me talk about what I'm using. So this is obviously a diamond painting, like I said, and I am doing, let me grab the sticker for y'all. It's a Diamond Art Club, and the name of the painting is called Cauldron of Mer, and it's a licensed artwork from Ivy Dollamore, and it is a witch mermaid in a cauldron. Yes, I am on I have it upside down right now, and I know it's super zoomed in, like I said, got it upside down, and I started on the second to the last row. So I'm almost finished. I am doing this for 2 diamond painting events, 2 community events, Festival of Witches, because I got a witch, and Drills and Chills, because it's kind of spooky, Halloweenish. Both of these events end on October 31st, and with today being the 13th, I might be able to swing it. We'll see. We will see how it goes. And if not a big deal. I don't do, typically I don't do events for prizes. Every once in a while I'll throw my name in, you know, but I typically try not to. So, because I feel like I have a lot of stuff already and I want to leave it open to the folks that, you know, may not have, you know, the things and may want the things more than me. So give everybody a chance to win something. Plus, I normally don't have very good luck winning things. Yeah. Speaking of, I did win a giveaway. The Uncrafty Crafter Jenny's, I won her giveaway last year. No, it was earlier this year, I think. But it was for DP with Sparklers. So I have a $25 gift card to DP with Sparklers I have not used yet. I'm like waiting, and I'll go on her website and I'll look at stuff and I'll put stuff in the cart and then I always back out. I cannot make a decision, y'all, to save my life, especially with Sparklers. There's so many to choose from. I mean, there's crystals, there's everything, right? Jellies. Yeah, so many things to choose from. So I just never know what to order. But I don't know. I'm waiting for like the right painting to say, okay, this is what I'm going to bling it up with, and I need to order X, Y, and Z. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. All right, so I am using, my pen is from Enabler's Outpost, and I got this pen from my mystery Halloween box. I love it. It's really pretty purple, so it matches my painting, and it's got some bats in there. It's funny because I know there's been some other folks that have got a similar pen, and Rachel Ray actually had commented that she thought hers were bats, but they were actually cats. So it's funny because I was watching her video yesterday and it had me questioning my pen because I've mentioned it a couple different times that it's bats. And I'm like, wait, I was really looking at it going, is it really bats or is it cats? And these definitely look like bats to me. I don't see cats in there. Or maybe it's a combination of both. No, I just see bats. Anyways, this is from Enabler's Outpost. I'll have all these things listed down below if y'all are interested in any of it. This is my purple Munimade Tray. This is one of their smaller trays. I love it. And then I am using one of my Coverminders. It's from Coverminders Siobhan. Siobhan does have an Etsy shop. It's got these great, they hold back your plastic. So I have the other magnet underneath my diamond painting, and they just hold back the plastic. I had this piece right here folded back. And then for storage, these came from Craftibly, and I don't think they have any more in stock. I think they're sold out, but they're great storage for all your drills. So I've got that, and I think that's it. And then I am using, oh y'all, check this out. I have another Coverminder just keeping me company. It's a skeleton mermaid. Is that not perfect? Yeah, I have both magnets on the back. I'm not really like, I just kind of have it on my overhead light. I thought she was super cool. All right, so that's everything I'm using. And yeah, let's just get started. So we left off last Thursday. And let's see, the kids had a 4-day weekend. They had Friday off and Monday off because Monday was Columbus Day. And so they're really good. The school district is really good about tacking on like, you know, a teacher in service day or a bad weather makeup day, you know, to make it a 4-day weekend. So they had off Friday. I think the teachers had to work that day. And let's see, I took Lou, we went to Starbucks. That was fun. That girl loves Starbucks, y'all. She's 10. My daughter Lou is 10 and she's loving Starbucks. And you don't really have to, you know, convince me. I got, for my birthday, it was the end of September. I think I got 3 different Starbucks gift cards from people. And I think I had a total of like $75, I think, in gift cards. And I thought it was going to last me a long time. It's gone already. All 3 cards have been used. Because I told my husband that, and he's like, what? Not only do we just get Starbucks, but we also get food. She loves their breakfast sandwiches. Or, oh, and when she does go, she wants a venti. So she wants like a big one. I don't know if she knows about Trenti yet, but I'm not going to tell her. I think that's how you say it. Apparently even bigger. I've never ordered one. A Trenti, Trento, however you say it. So yeah, so she's not just getting a little small one, she's getting a big one. So it adds up. And then sometimes we normally have one of her friends with us, and so I treat them. So y'all, that gift card went fast. And then I normally pick up something for my husband while we're out and bring it back. So it added up. It wasn't just mine, but I was happy to treat everybody with my birthday presents. That's what it's for. So that was Friday, and then we went to McDonald's for lunch because I wanted to get one of their they have these new adult Happy Meals, and the toys are like collectibles, and I thought it was so cool that, you know, they had them for adults. So I told all the kids I was going to go there, got everyone's orders, even her friend was with us. We went through the drive-thru, and they were sold out. I was so bummed because Lou didn't even want to go there. She wanted to go somewhere else. And I'm like, no, we got to get a Happy Meal. So yeah, that happened. That was a bummer, but that's okay. I probably didn't really need an adult Happy Meal. I don't need more toys in the house. And then let's see, that was Friday. And then Saturday, what happened during the day? Not anything that I remember. I do know that Nate and I, my 16-year-old, we went to the movies, just the 2 of us. And he drove us because he newly has his driver's license and he doesn't drive. So that was a huge deal that he was willing to drive us to the movies, which that's so strange to me. I could not wait to get my license, and I was like gone. But he is a homebody, so he's always here. But we went and saw Amsterdam. No spoilers here, but I will say I enjoyed it. And it's got Christian Bale. It's got Margot Robbie. It's got a ton of actors and actresses. I mean, chock full of, you'll recognize so many people if you go see it. So we saw that, and we both ordered some candy because we had already had dinner at home. And it's one of those theaters where you can get, you know, food and drinks. And because he was driving and I had a designated driver, I ordered a glass of wine, and then he ordered an icy, and then we both got some candy. Now I ordered some Butterfinger bites, and they were disgusting, but I ate them all anyways. They were stale. And they were like chewy when, like, Butterfingers, if you had Butterfingers before, you know, they're kind of like flaky and kind of crunchy. And I didn't say anything to Nate because, you know, we were in the middle of watching a movie. But at the end of the movie, when the lights came on and I was paying, I looked at him and I said, my candy was so gross. He goes, oh, check mine out. And he didn't even eat his. He had like 1 or 2. He ordered some sour gummy worms. And y'all, there was like a big clump of worms. They were all like stuck together. They were like melted or something. So candy was not good, but neither one of us knew that the other one was struggling with their candy. And so plus I ate mine. So, because when I got home, I told my husband, he goes, you could have got a refund. I'm like, I kind of ate them. So yeah, we went to the movies. Really, really fun. I hadn't been to a movie in a while. And it's always fun, you know, it's a great escape. Oh gosh, I just popped a bunch of drills out of my tray, y'all. For those of you that are watching. By the way, little trick, if you do spill drills, just use your fingers. Just pat them and they stick. Unless they're on the glue, then you have to use your fingernails. But some 310 that popped out. Here's another one. But yeah, just pick them up with my finger. I used to try to like scoop them and scrape them and try to pinch them up, but now just go, doot, doot, doot. Just use your fingertips. All right, y'all, what other dime painting tips can I give you? Because that was a good one, right, y'all? Okay, so the movie was great. And then Sunday, I had my live. It was live with a guest. I had Anthony from Single and Placing, and it was a blast. I know I say they're all fun, and they are all fun in their different ways, right? Everybody's different. Each guest I have is different, but I just love everyone's personalities, and I love getting to know everybody. And it's fun to see their excitement when they find out that they're getting more subscribers, just the whole thing, and that they're meeting more folks in the community. Or this is the first time, like Anthony had said, I never really thought about this, but they see comments from people in their videos, but they never get a chance to talk to anybody, during a live chat. They've never really had an opportunity to chat with anybody and have a conversation with them. So, and I forget that, and it's so cool that there was a lot of people on there that, that Anthony, that he knew. And so he was able to say hi to them and talk to everybody. All right, I know that was just like a millisecond for y'all, but I had to pause and take my phone out of the mount, and I had to get a phone call, so I had to answer it, and now I'm back. So if this seems a little chopped up, that's what happened. Where were we? Oh yeah, Sunday. So Anthony was so kind, y'all. A couple days before the live, he had asked me for my address, or if there was somebody that wanted to send me something, what address should they use? He's like asking for a friend. I'm like, what is he up to? Y'all, he sent me the most beautiful flowers. And I told my husband who they're from. He goes, should I be concerned another guy sending you flowers? I'm like, no. He is thanking me for, just helping out the community. I don't know. I'm like, but it was just so thankful and so kind of him. I have him behind me in my craft room on my table, and they're opening up. There's roses, and they're just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it was a great surprise. We were talking before the live backstage before we came on, and he was telling me, I was thanking him for the flowers because I got them just like a few hours before the live, and I didn't see anybody come to the door. I didn't hear the doorbell ring. It was like a ninja. And I asked him, like, how'd you do that? And he goes, because I thought maybe he asked Randy to do it. I wasn't sure what was going on. I'm like, how did I not see or hear anybody? He DoorDashed them. Yo, I thought DoorDash was only for food. I guess you can DoorDash flowers. I don't know if y'all knew that. I didn't know that. So it's amazing what you can DoorDash. And they were just so pretty. And I'm still like in shock that he sent me flowers. He did not have to do that, but they are much just, and so needed, and just, couldn't have, it's like he knew, but he didn't know. I don't know. Just, it's been a week, y'all. So let's finish talking about the week, and then we'll talk about what else is going on. Sorry, I'm just like all over the place. So then Sunday, because the kids did not have school Monday, so it was Columbus Day, so Lou had her best friend spend the night. And after the live, when it got dark, I took them, it's called booing, Booing, booing. And if you're not familiar with it, it's where you make a little goodie basket of like Halloween goodies and little, fall goodies. And then you, I printed off a sign off of Pinterest, and it says, you've been booed. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to, and you don't know who does it. So basically I would drive up in front of the house and park like a couple houses down, turn off the lights. The girls would, you go up to the door, you ring the doorbell, and you run away, and you don't want them to see you. The girls were so cute. They had these big heads on. They had a unicorn head and a chicken head that my husband had bought at Walmart a couple years ago. And so they had these big heads on, walking up to the door, carrying the little goodie basket, and we booed our neighbors. They were so cute. They would ring the doorbell, and then you would see them running in the dark to the car. We took Nate's truck because we thought, okay, if we're in my car, they might recognize us, as we're driving away. But they're so fun. The girls, we do it every year. And what I was going to say is there's a note that you put in with it. We did 3 of them. You can do 3, and then you could do more too, but we printed out 3 notes, and you fold it up and you put it in the little basket, and it says, "You've been booed." And it said, "Please pass it along." So what you do is you make a copy of that if you get booed. You put your little ghost picture that we printed out in the window, so then people know that you've already been booed and to boo somebody else. So it's like a fun, like you just kind of, you know, pass it on and keep trying to get everybody booed. So yeah, I hope I explained that right, but we booed. So we did that Sunday night. And then let's see, I had a doctor's appointment on Monday morning. I had my 2-week hysterectomy post-op appointment. And actually it had been about 2.5 weeks because Thursday had been 2 weeks and this was Monday. So went in and the doctor did an exam and he says, everything looks good. He said my incisions, the 4, because they went in robotically, he said those are healing up nicely and everything looks good. He said, but there's still another stitch that they had to do that's still not fully healed. So I have to go back in 4 weeks. And he said, please don't lift anything heavy because it can rip that stitch. I'm like, oh man. So I don't know how to do that. But yeah, I'll try my best, you know. It's funny, Sunday night before we went booing, we went to Walmart so the girls could get some candy for the buckets, for the little goodie bags. And we went to Walmart and they had pumpkins. And I was like, ooh, I need some pumpkins for the front porch. So here I am, y'all, lifting these big old pumpkins into the back of the truck. And then, you know, putting down the big heavy tailgate and carrying a pumpkin. These are good size ones. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not supposed to be carrying anything heavy. But it was Lou and her friend, and I didn't want to, I mean, I'm sure they might have carried the pumpkins or tried to, but I didn't want them to have to, I didn't want them to drop them, right? That'd be awful. So, yep. So I went to the doctor Monday. Everything looks good. So we're almost there, almost healed up. He did give me, he said I can do light exercise. So like I said, can I walk my dogs? And he's like, yep. He's like, you can get your heart rate up. Just don't get crazy, you know, because I got a Peloton bike and I haven't been using it. And then, so I said, can I ride my bike? A little, you know, stationary bike. And he goes, sure, just don't go crazy. So whatever that means. I'm like, okay, so have I exercised yet? Nope. But I just wanted to ask to make it sound like I was thinking about it. Or there was a possibility, you know, if I get clearance, maybe I'll actually do it. No, not yet. Maybe one day, but not today or yesterday or the day before. So we'll see about tomorrow. I don't know, y'all. So, and then here we are. Let's see, Tuesday. We'll talk about Tuesday in a second. All right. So, what we're going to talk about, I was going to give you a trigger warning just in case anyone wants to leave. I'm going to be discussing mental health and substance abuse. So if either one of those topics are, you know, upsetting to you or is not something you want to hear about, go ahead and click off the video because that's the last thing I want to do is upset anyone. So I'll give you a sec. So I didn't really know how to talk about it. So I'm just going to talk about it and we'll just see where it goes and how I do. So, God, y'all, it's hard. I thought I was good now. I'm going to try not to get emotional. That's why I've been waiting because I wasn't ready to talk about it yet. And I thought I was ready, but now I'm struggling. So my oldest son, who's 17, last Monday night. So let's see, what's today? Thursday. So a week and a half ago, started having intrusive thoughts. And the majority, well, the biggest intrusive thought he was having was to hurt me. You know, it's hard because my oldest and I have a great relationship. We always have. He's a lot like me. And we've never argued or fought or had any issues in our relationship. You know, the normal parenting stuff, I have to get on to him about things, but that's like normal. And I'm really easygoing. Probably too nice. So I was just in shock and he didn't know how to tell me. You know, he was scared to tell me, of course. And so I just want to talk about, you know, maybe not all the details because they are private. And I did ask his permission before I started filming this. And before I asked him, I said, I asked him today, I said, I need to film my whip and chat, but I wanted to ask you, do I have your permission to talk about some things? And he goes, yeah, talk about being honest and talk about some of the things that we've been experiencing this week, and maybe it'll help somebody. And he's 100% correct. Sometimes I don't like to talk about the deep things and the, but we're going to get deep here. So Tuesday morning, because he was having these thoughts on Monday night. So Tuesday, I said he could stay home from school, and he was visibly shaking because he said he was having all these thoughts of wanting to hurt me, and he didn't know why, and he was afraid he was going to act on them. So I called around all day Tuesday trying to find a counselor for him and trying to find a psychiatrist, therapist, somebody for him to talk to. Anybody out there. I mean, so I, pulled up our insurance and I looked at the list and I called, I don't know, about 20, 30 different places. Not one person was available. And I would even tell them it's an emergency situation because he really wanted to talk to someone badly. And we couldn't find anybody, which is crazy to think that here you are as a parent calling for help, frantically calling people for help, and no one can see you, and everyone's booked up, or no one even calls you back. That was another thing. I left several messages, never got called back, or would get a call back, but it'd be like several days after. And I would even tell them on the voicemail what was going on. The word intrusive thoughts, actually, my son actually came to the conclusion with that description, which is a great description because that's what was happening. He was diagnosed with having ADHD about 2 or 3 years ago, and he was medicated at first for a little bit, but he said it hurt his stomach, and he said he didn't feel any different when he was taking it. So he stopped taking it, and we stopped, we just stopped all things, which was not good. Looking back, so there's just so much to unpack, y'all. I don't even know where to begin. So I called, couldn't find anybody for him to talk to. So that afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, I called a inpatient/outpatient behavioral hospital in our city, and they said they could do an assessment and they could decide, if he could see somebody, talk to them, or if he needed to be admitted. And I was like, oh, thank God, help. Someone's actually, we can see somebody today, and he didn't know what to do with these thoughts. Now, on top of this is where the substance abuse will come in. And he was 100% honest with everything. He just laid it all out. He was getting high. He was smoking marijuana. He was vaping and getting high almost every day. Or every day for a while now. And we had caught him once before vaping, and he got in a lot of trouble. And we thought it had stopped, but it hadn't. And then we caught him again, and we thought it had stopped, but it hadn't. So, but we never did anything else about it. We never took him to anybody. We never had him talk to anyone. Never had him nothing. Nor did we get help for anything on how to deal with this. So I guess, where a lot of this is going, and, kind of just how I wanted it to frame it is, don't be afraid to ask for help. And I'm just so proud of him because for a 17-year-old teenage, for a 17-year-old boy at that, we found out is even more rare than girls. I guess girls call out for help more than boys do. But for him to come and tell me that he was having these thoughts and they scared the crap, the shit out of him, and he didn't know what to do. And so we went up to the behavioral hospital at I picked up Lou from school, brought her home, and then Nate was home. So he watched her, and him and I went up there about 3:30 on Tuesday. I left alone at 7:30 that night. We were there for 4 hours, going through the assessment process, talking to social workers, the whole bit, filling out paperwork, him telling his story, us talking about, the marijuana and the thoughts about hurting me, and, his depression, his anxiety, and all the things. And they admitted him. So he was there for a week. And that's why I've alluded to and but I wasn't ready to talk about it. I was just an absolute wreck. Just an absolute mess. But I'm glad that sorry, y'all, just shook you. I'm glad that I can talk about it now, calmly, and because we've had a lot of therapy since then, and we've talked to a lot of folks, and what a difference it makes talking about things. You know, you hear people talk about fight or flight, you know, when you get in certain situations. I'm definitely a flight. I avoid conflict. I avoid confrontation. I avoid anything that, you know, I don't want to deal with it. I just walk away. That's how I deal with things. And we couldn't do this in this situation. And I didn't really know what to do. But when he was in there, he was getting some help. We could see him. He was allowed one visitor every day, only one parent once a day. So my husband and I were taking turns. Now, my husband was actually out of town when all this happened. That was another scary thing is, you know, he was having thoughts of, you know, hurting me, and, you know, we didn't know, you know, for his safety, obviously, and for mine, you know, what we should do in this situation. And he wanted to be admitted, and he wanted to get help, and he was afraid, you know, and he wanted to get better, and he wanted to get rid of those thoughts and figure out why he was having them. So let's see. I admitted him on Tuesday, and Wednesday I went up to go visit him the first day, and they have 2 sets of visiting hours. They have 2:30 to 3:30 and like 3:30 to 4:30. And they weren't real clear with the packet of information they gave me on kind of how it works. So I have to pick up my daughter I had to pick up Lou at 3:00. So I told her, I said, I know I won't be able to do the first set, but I'll do the 3:30 one. Well, I get her home, get her a snack. I'm out the door. Couldn't find parking at the place because it's in like a hospital and it's really hard to find parking. And I got there 5 minutes late. Well, they wouldn't let me up. I was distraught, y'all. Here I was, you know, it was hard. So I didn't get to see him. They told me I was late and sorry, they couldn't take me up to where he was. So then I knew they weren't messing around. I'm like, okay, now I got it. So y'all, the next day on Wednesday, I was like 30 minutes early, and I didn't care. I was like, I'll wait as long as I can. You know, I'll even wait or more than that, you know, of course, it doesn't matter. So I waited, and they told us the pack for 3 days because they told us the average stay is 3 to 5. But then come to find out, talking to more people and getting more into the system and figuring out the average stay is actually 7 to 10 days. So he had 3 days worth of clothes, and he was good for the first few days. So I went and saw him Wednesday, and you get 50 minutes with each other. So you get almost an hour, and it was so good. Our visits were awesome. We had talked more than we have talked in years, you know, that during that 4 hours, you know, during his intake and during, you know, cause he was isolating in his room and playing video games all the time and getting high. And I was isolating too, diamond painting all the time. And we were just going in like 2 different directions. And I just thought, he's 17. He doesn't need me. He doesn't need me riding him. He doesn't need me over his shoulder every second. And so I kind of thought he was all good. Well, he wasn't. He was not good. And he didn't know how to tell me, and I didn't know how to check in with him. And we kind of had lost our way a little bit. But one thing that, from talking about everything that we had kind of started to figure out was one of the triggers that triggered a lot of these thoughts that he was having, that what could have happened is he was watching that Netflix series, Dahmer, and he watched it all in one day. And there's like 10 episodes, so we're talking about hours and hours and hours of that dark, disturbing. I mean, I watched a couple episodes and I stopped watching it because I was like, I don't want this in my brain. Well, for a 17-year-old developing mind, you know, to be watching that, and I knew he was watching it. I knew he was watching it, and I was fine with it. Which, you know, I look back now and I'm like, why did I think that was okay? You know, I know they're not babies anymore, and I try not to baby them. And I'm like, he's 17. You know, my 16-year-old was watching it too. He's watched it all, and he didn't watch it one day. But then he also told me that after watching that, he was watching true crime videos. And then, y'all, by the way, I'm not saying that if you watch any of these things this is going to happen to you, or that it's wrong, or that I have any I'm not judging whatsoever. It just, for him, it wasn't good, right? It wasn't healthy. So he was watching true crime videos and they kept recommending them. And so he'd be watching more and more and more. And it became just, yeah, that with the drugs and getting high, and made him, made his mind just spin out of control. And so, all right, so I went and saw him Wednesday, and then Thursday, trying to remember when my husband came home. I think he might have come home Thursday. I don't remember, y'all. I think I went and visited him the first couple of days by myself. And then Friday, yeah, that's what it was. He came home Thursday night. So glad to have my husband home, y'all. Can you only imagine? I mean, what a week. And and we'd get to see him once a day, and then he would also call us at night. He would have a 10-minute phone call. The first night was rough that he was there because he wasn't quite in the system yet. We checked in late Tuesday night, and then he calls me Wednesday afternoon during his phone call time and was crying, saying, I want to come home. This is not a good fit for me. Well, he wasn't getting any therapy yet. They hadn't put him on any medication yet. And he was just still, everybody was just still getting all of his paperwork, and he was getting in the system. So I told him, I said, buddy, it hasn't even been, it's only been a day. Let's give it more time. I think it's too soon. But y'all, I thought about multiple times. I called my husband. I'm like, should I go get him? Should I go get him? I was so scared. And then when I couldn't see him on Wednesday, that just made everything worse, right? And then he called me, and it's just, I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? And it was just really, really hard, just was. So let's see, where are we at now? And then Friday, my husband went to visit him, which was so good. And then I went, and he would call, of course, at night, and he would talk to his brother and sister, and they were so sweet. We'd put him on speakerphone, and everybody would talk to him. He started being able to see therapists. I was a little disappointed in the program. They had some group therapy, but he only met with an individual therapist like once or twice. So he didn't get as much out of it as we were hoping. But it was a good place for him to be for the week, just looking back. But, and then, so then Saturday I went up to see him. And then Sunday, my husband went up, and I had my live with Anthony. It's been, I don't know, y'all. Like I said, the live was fun, and we had a great time. I just didn't know what state of mind or what state I was going to be in. And it was one of the best things I could have done. I needed to be on that live. I almost thought about canceling, but I know how much it meant, to Anthony. And I felt really bad because I was supposed to be, and I meant to tell you all this, I was supposed to be a guest on Bella Art Day Nicole. I mentioned that to you during my last whip and chat. I was supposed to be a guest Saturday, but I had to, the last minute, I think it was Friday, I told her, but I had sent Nicole a message, and I said, unfortunately, something's come up at home, and I can't be there Saturday. So I made that commitment to her, a long time ago. We scheduled that live. So, but your family has to come first. So, but she understood. She was very understanding, and she said, I hope everything's okay, and I wasn't ready to talk about it. That's the thing, y'all. I went into like this state of it was really weird. I can talk about it now, but I couldn't. I could not get the words out to anybody. I didn't tell my mom and dad. I wasn't telling anybody for the first 3 days. I just wasn't it's weird. It's really, really weird. I was just dealing, I guess, and just processing everything. So it was Sunday. My husband went and saw him. I did the live. And then Monday, I went and saw him. And on Monday, he told me that they had told him that he was going to be discharged on Tuesday. And I said, okay, well, they haven't called us yet and told us anything. This is news to me. And I thought, it's not going to happen, because if they haven't even told the parents yet, it's probably going to take more time. But so we set up visitation for Tuesday for my husband. And then I got a call. I was at Costco on Tuesday morning. And I got a call from the hospital, and they were like, Ryan can be, he's going to be released this afternoon. What time can you come get him? Anytime after noon is good for us. And I was like, noon? How about 12:30? I'm like, at 12:30 good, because I needed time to get home and unload everything and then, get over there. So I got there 10 minutes early. I was like, I'm going to be here. So I stood in the lobby. There was nowhere to sit down. I stood in the lobby for like 40 minutes waiting for him to finally come down. And he had his stuff because we had brought him some more clothes, magazines. You were allowed to have magazines, just not anything hardback, like hardback books. The thing that's heavy or sharp edges. It was so funny. I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday. When I went to visit him, I brought a deck of cards. I saw a mom on another visitation bring bring Uno. I'm like, what a great idea. I mean, we would have some great visits, but sometimes, we just wanted to kind of just hang out and do something fun, get his mind off of things. So I bought Old Maid, and I'm like, he's going to kill me, but I went and rated his sister's games. I got Old Maid, Go Fish, and Crazy Eights, and they were all for like $5+. We had so much fun. We played Go Fish a couple times, played Old Maid. We couldn't figure out how to play Crazy Eights, but we had a great visit. And then I brought him some magazines, and my husband had printed out some football scores for him. So yeah, and then we brought some more clothes up that day. It was really, we had some good visits. It's interesting when you don't get a chance to talk to someone and then you only get 50 minutes, and then that 10 minutes in the afternoon goes by so fast, and you really appreciate the time you have with someone, and you take it for granted, when you've had it this whole time and you weren't using it. It's just kind of sad. So it's actually really sad, And him and I have been spending a lot of time together now, and it's been really, really good. He's such a good kid. And he, let's see, where did we leave off? So Tuesday I went and picked him up, and he had not been outside in a week. They don't let them outside. He barely had even seen the sky. They gave him half of a window that he could look out of. He was able to see if it was day or night, and that was it. So he just couldn't believe coming outside, and he goes, everything looks different, everything looks weird. And so we go home, and my husband had picked up, because I guess during one of their visits he was asking what kind of food he missed, and he said steak. So my husband went and picked up some barbecue. He got some brisket and all kinds of good stuff, and he brought home lunch for us. So when we got home, we ate, and his brother and sister were at school, so it was nice. He kind of just got to, it's interesting. He really got into playing with like playing cards, like a deck of cards, and he's learned how to shuffle and how to fan them and do like a bridge and do like all these cool. Now he's learning card tricks and like magic tricks, and he's like really into cards. And I think it's been good for his hands, to keep busy and like have something to fidget with. But we've been playing so many games of cards with his brother and sister. The last 2 nights, we've been in his room for like an hour, and we're all playing cards. My 3 kids and I, which we haven't done in a very, very long time, years. So we're just trying to get back, some of the time that I think we've lost. And he seems so much better. We went to, let's see. So there's been a lot that's happened since this past week, but we went to family therapy. I had that scheduled. We did that yesterday. The 3 of us, my husband and I, and my son, we went to therapy, and it was an hour, and it was great. He would talk and we would talk a little bit, and he really liked the therapist. So he's going to see her again on Saturday. I'm going to drive him up there. And then today we met with an outpatient facility within the city that we live. And we're trying to get the location set. They have availability starting tomorrow for, it's called PHP. It's Partial Hospitalization Program. And they also have something called an IOP, which is an Intensive Outpatient Program. And it's just for adolescents. It's great. And they were really nice. We went and saw them today, but they only have availability at their other location that's 30 minutes away. And they have a spot for him starting tomorrow. He can do his schoolwork there because he would be there during the day. It's 9 to 3. And he would he would count for, it would be attendance for school. So they worked with the school district, and it's just a really good program. They said they didn't have any availability at the one where we live for another week. So I called one of my contacts over there and just said, I left her a voicemail. I'm just waiting to hear back saying, that's why when I answered the call, I was hoping it was them, but it wasn't. But I'm just waiting to find out, if we do wait a week, what would this next week look like? He's already behind on school. That's one of the big stressors is school for him. He's a senior this year. And I think, talking to some of my friends here on YouTube, they also told me that, one of them's a teacher, and she teaches high schoolers. And she said a lot of times you'll see this happen when they're a senior. It's like they self-sabotage and they're worried about their future. They don't know where they're going or what they're doing and what's next, and they get scared. So that's kind of what we're experiencing. But he had the assessment this morning. We were there for a few hours. And then after that, we went and had lunch together, went to Panera. But we are spending so much time together. I mean, it's great. I'm just, he leaves his door open now. He's, limiting his screen time. We've been playing tons and tons of cards. Yesterday, we actually got on YouTube in his room, and we were looking up games. So we learned how to play, we watched a video about Spit, and that was kind of a tough card game. We learned how to play Crazy Eights, finally. And then we learned how to play Rummy. And then we also learned another game called Spoons. So we've just been he's really, really into the cards. And he ordered some on Amazon last night, and they're coming tomorrow. He ordered 5 new decks. So he's really got a whole new, something else to focus on and really help him. And then he has another therapy appointment with the individual therapist that he saw yesterday. He sees her Saturday morning. So we're just trying to get him and us, all the help that we can get for him. Anything and everything. I'll do anything, as I know we all would for our kids and for ourselves, and that's another thing I wanted to say is just thank you to everybody that knew I was going through something rough because I had mentioned it, but didn't know all the details or did know, or, my Patreons knew. I'd been feeling some things for them, and they knew, and I can't thank y'all enough for all the prayers and all the comments, and everybody's just so supportive, you guys. If you're new to this community, stick around and just get to know people, because this community is one of a kind. I don't know anything like it. I've never met anybody like this community before, and everybody's just incredibly, incredibly supportive, and we're not afraid to talk about mental health in this community, which I really, really appreciated. And that's not why I didn't talk about it. I couldn't talk about it without I didn't even know what to say or how to say. It just was a mess. And I just wasn't ready, and a lot of friends were great. They'd reach out and say, you know what, I'm here. And if you don't want to talk, that's okay. And that was really nice to hear at times, because I wasn't ready to talk about it, but I didn't want to ignore everybody, and I would just give it a heart, or I would just say thank you, and then everybody kind of let me be. But when I did need to talk about it, I could. It's just, y'all, it's been a lot more than, I'm not good at dealing with emergencies and just, but I'm proud of myself. I'm extremely proud of Ryan and the things that he has done to try to help himself and help, I'm just so proud of him. And I know this hasn't been easy. No, it has not been easy for anybody. I don't know how long we've been going, but I'm going to go check on him. He is home. He's not going to school right now. So he's home, and I'm just going to make sure he's good. We check in every so often, quite a bit. We watched a movie together the other night, and we sat on the couch together and watched a movie, and he turned himself around because we had our heads, the opposite end of the couch. He turned around and he laid his head in my lap. And I put my arm around him, and y'all, he's 17. He just, he needs his mom and his dad and his brother and sister, and he needs his grandparents, and he just needs everybody, whenever he's ready. But right now I seem to be his person, which I'm willing to be that person, especially, I think maybe too it's because he's having those particular thoughts, and he's trying to maybe make up for that. I don't know. We'll figure all this out in therapy. We'll figure it all out. But I was asked yesterday by the therapist if I was scared of him and if I thought he was going to hurt me. And I said, no. I know he was worried about that and he was scared of that, but I don't think he would ever do that. And at lunch today, he looked at me and he said, Mom, I would never do that. So, but y'all, just, I guess the message here is, we all struggle, most of us, a lot of people struggle with mental illness, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Yeah. All right, sorry about that. Ryan came in. Well, I'm not going to apologize, but Ryan came in to show me another card trick. He's really cool. He tells me to split the deck. He's just learning all these new magic tricks, and I had to pick my card, look at my card, put it back in there, and then he shuffled, but I'm not going to tell you the secret because, they're not supposed to tell secrets. He's like, I'm only going to tell you, Mom. But it was funny because afterwards he's like, because, Nate and Lou are at school. He's like, I don't have anybody else to show the magic trick to. I was like, they'll be home soon. So he learns these magic tricks, or we learn these games during the day, and then he can show them, when they get home from school. Lou's been awesome, y'all. She's been walking home from school every day because I've been, either visiting him or, going to therapy with him yesterday. So yes, I got to give her some credit. She has been amazing. She actually had a field trip today, so can't wait to talk to her about it. They went to a storybook festival. Not really sure exactly what that is, but I guess I'll find out when she gets home. So she had to wear her grade 4 field trip shirt, so all the kids look the same. Yes. Yeah, so again, I know it's things y'all know, you've heard before, but just I've learned so much during this process, and now it's easy for me to go do this because I'm doing it now and this feels great, but sometimes it doesn't happen until you're ready, right? I mean, we've been dealing with this for a while, and it didn't just, and Ryan kept apologizing, and I said sometimes it has to get bad before it gets better. And I hate, you hate that has to be the case, but sometimes that's it. And things happen, when they're supposed to. But when I was talking to Ryan, he's like, I said, are you okay if I, tell them about what's going on? He's like, yeah. But I just want to make sure that, you talk about honesty. And I said, yep, honesty. Because we were saying at lunch today how much better we feel. He's not carrying around, he's not trying to hide things from me and carrying around this guilt. And I'm not, always wondering what he's up to and thinking he's doing something bad. It's just, there's no more of that. It's all out in the open. It's all we're talking about through therapy. It's been really, really good to talk to therapists like yesterday, having all 3 of us in the room, and I'm just so proud of him, y'all. Even the therapist was like, wow, for 17, I told him last night, I said, whoever you marry or whoever gets you, they're going to be lucky because you are in tune with your feelings. You are not afraid to talk and open up because he hasn't been shy in front of anybody. He's had to talk to so many people through this process, and it's been really, really good. So I hope in some way, form, fashion, that this helps someone that's listening. If you're going through a rough time, I'm always here for you. And like me, you may not be ready to talk about it, and that's okay. But just know that I'm here. So if you ever want to send me a message, I'll listen. And, please reach out, if it's not to me, to somebody, for help. Because, if he hadn't have told me what he told me, even if it had something awful to do about me, who knows what would have happened. And if we were just continuing to do what we were doing, it just wasn't healthy. So yes, I'll keep y'all posted. We'll just get better. It's all we can do. We'll just try and keep working at it. And then he'll, hopefully get into some PHP program. We're just trying to figure out where. So I've got to make a couple more phone calls. And he keeps apologizing about me having to do all these calls and talk to doctors and this, that. I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's part of the process. You've got to do this. It's not easy. They don't make it easy. I'll tell y'all what, thank God we have insurance, because I couldn't believe it. But the therapist that we met with yesterday, she wrote down on the bill how much it was going to be without insurance, $200. I was like, are you kidding me? Y'all, I'm just kind of blown away by healthcare, and just, I hope everyone has an opportunity to get the help that they need. That's all. I really, really hope that, that you know, get the help you need. And I know I've heard a lot of people always talk about therapy and they're like, oh, it's so good. But I kind of would brushed it off. I was like, I mean, I've done it in the past, but it's been a long time. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not really one to talk about my feelings, and I like everything to be happy and, you know, all this and that, real light, positive. But y'all, I've seen a difference, and it is a powerful tool. So, all right, I'm going to stop going on and on. I've updated you on most of what I can think about and what's come to mind. So, thank y'all again for everything. If you need anything from me, you know, let me know. If y'all enjoyed this, I know it was a little bit of a different video, but I don't want to be afraid to talk about the things that, you know, that are going on, you know, when I can. So yeah, I always try to be real with y'all, and I always try to be honest. So, all right, if y'all enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. They really do help. And then if y'all have not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. It's totally free. Just lets me know that you like what I'm doing here. And then if you do and you want to see more, there's a notification bell right next to that subscribe button. And the subscribe button is down below. Click on the notification bell, click all, and then you'll get notified every time I post up any new videos. All right, I'm gonna get out of here and go check on him and get ready for Lou to come home, and just be present, right? Just trying to be more present. All right, love you guys so much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye guys.